Hi, this is Ro. Well, today I actually have a question for you guys. If you are into anime and manga and cosplay and go to conventions and stuff, then how did that start? I feel like every time you ask this question you get a kind of comment like, well, I watched Pokemon, Digimon, Sailor Moon as a kid, and that's really not what I'm asking here. I'm not asking where did the interest come from. I'm not asking why you like this. I'm asking you, how did you get into this world, the convention and cosplay world? How did you find your way into that? And I'm gonna tell you my story. So for me, it really started when I was in 7th grade. I had a group of friends in my school where it was mainly 2 friends who I really knew from the year before. My best friend, who is still my best friend to this day, and one more girl, and then there was this 3rd girl who had sort of been there in 6th grade. And I remember we came back from summer break between 6th and 7th grade, and suddenly we were apparently friends with her, and I didn't know that. I just kind of went along with it. And then there was a group of girls who were a year younger than us, who also went to our school, and they were all into sort of the same things. And then this thing happened. This thing where it was somehow decided that we, as a group of like 7 people, were gonna write a fanfic or skit or something. And this thing was called Temari's Kiba Cookies. And this thing, it means so much to me. It's such outrageous nonsense, and it's just so much crap. So we started writing this story, and when I say we, I mean they started writing it and I stood around and wondered, what is going on? I was at the point where I kind of just didn't dare to say that I didn't really know what was going on. Pretty much we were each given a character. I was given Temari, because I have sort of plan was that we at some point were gonna actually perform this skit thing. We never did. I don't think any of us ever actually cosplayed the characters that we were intending to do. This was kind of before the days of, at least me, really knowing what cosplay was. So I remember we were talking about this, and I still had no idea what it was from. I had absolutely no idea, and I think Naruto was barely even a character in this skit thing, because I don't think we had anybody who wanted to be Naruto at the point. And I guess at some point I actually just heard the name Naruto, or I saw it written down somewhere, and I just remember thinking, oh my god, that is so familiar. I have seen that before somewhere. And I went home and I checked, and my brother was subscribing to this magazine called Shonen Jump. It looked something like this. Actually, exactly like this. This is one of his. I went into his room and borrowed it. And it says Naruto there in big letters. And I think, yeah, this is number 7 from 2006. It might actually have been the one that I, like, because I went into his room and I, like, pulled one out and was like, yeah, look, there it says Naruto. Now I know what Naruto is. It's a manga. And then I actually looked it up and I started watching the anime, and that's how I got pulled into this from the start. From there, it went on, and in 2007, my friends went to a anime convention in my city called I Love. I was sort of too scared to go. I remember driving through town with my dad, seeing people in cosplay, and I was just sitting there and I was like, I was supposed to go to that, but I didn't. And my dad was just like, what is it? I'm like, it's this kind of weird thing where you go to a place and where people like the same stuff that you like, and sometimes they dress up. And I think he just looked at me weird. So after that I realized, oh my god, I should really have gone, and I told them, next time there's a convention you're going to, you're bringing me along. And they did. VidCon 2008 in April, and I remember it was during April 13th because it was my brother's birthday, and I was afraid my mom was going to say that I wasn't allowed to go. That one was also in my city, and that was the first convention I went to, and I had a blast. It was a really small convention, but it was really good because my first convention, and I had a lot of fun, and it just drove me on. The second convention was NADCon, and that is a convention that I've been going to for the 6th time this summer. It also took quite some time for me to cosplay. I did not cosplay at my first convention or my 2nd or 3rd, 4th. I actually don't know how many conventions I went to before I started cosplaying, but I did like 1 or 2 very far between and very kind of awkwardly, and it's not until like the last 2 years that I've started doing it relatively seriously. So that's the story of how I started with all of this. So please, tell me, how did you start? I would love to hear that in comments or videos or something. I just would really like to know this. Bye. You might have noticed that my fingers are very red. That's because I am once again working with strawberries, and this is how they leave my fingers. And this is them after being washed, and they don't look nearly as red in real life as they do in the camera.